Hi, I'm Matthew Dahlitz from the Science of Psychotherapy, and I'd like to share with you a bit of a conversation between Richard Hill, myself, and Terry Marks-Tarlow on trusting your intuition. Check it out.
I so believe that clinical training should help people unleash their creativity, and I don't mean wildly or unethically, but to recognize that real contact with people has to feel this way. Otherwise, it just isn't happening. It's not exciting. If there isn't some emergent thing in the space between where neither one knows where it's going to go, it's not alive.
Having a complete faith in your intuitive capacity is like the frame that you have to be in, right? So you're trusting that 90% of what's going on in the subconscious realm is working for you in that intuitive sense.
Yes and no. I mean, I have received some criticism about not addressing, well, what's the difference between being intuitive and being impulsive, or being just sort of spouting out and toxic countertransference. And so I also think that there are important checks and balances for being for staying humble, again, with intuition and not assuming it's right, but checking it out and really looking for feedback. And so, yes, I have come more and more to trust my intuition, but I hold everything really, really lightly. I will not force anything. If it doesn't resonate, I let it go. And that's maybe a good segue into play. That's a place where, sort of playing with possibilities is very different than locking them in somehow. So I don't want to sort of say clinical intuition is so important to everyone, and then loose a bunch of people that feel like they can go around and say anything, anytime, and anywhere, because that is not what I believe. And
there's still a discipline to it. Yeah.
Yes, it's a discipline.
Well, Ernie Rossi, if this helps, when we talked about exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. And he said, yes, you have all these emergent properties and it comes up and it's based on your experience. It's like a musician who improvises. The more scales they know, the better they can improvise. And he said, but you still have a cognitive brain for good purpose.
That's right.
To consider, and you still have a dorsolateral prefrontal cortex that will come in and stop you doing something stupid.
Yes, and the concept of shuttling is really important to me. I think we shuttle back and forth between conscious deliberation and analytic thought and unconscious inspiration and more right brain kinds of things, that we're shuttling back and forth all the time within our own brains, and then we're shuttling back and forth between self and other. And part of the feedback system is looking at how something lands and then following those clues. So, if I say something and someone's face drops, something bad just happened, and those transition points, again, those are, the edges. That's what's really important, is what is those transition points, and to capture it. So it's not just what are you feeling, it's what just happened when I just said that, that really gets to the relational dynamic and the shuttling between self and other that's so important in therapy.
Well, if you want to know more about the science of psychotherapy, come across to our website, thescienceofpsychotherapy.com, and our podcast of the same name, and learn more about the science of you.